if you want the things because you just want the things and they don't really add to the overall well-being of who you are, of what you are desiring, of the big picture, go back to the lab. Because you just want something to want something. You just want something to say, hey guys, look at me. Go back to the lab and stay scared. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Dyme and we back at it again. If this is your first time here, welcome. Come on in and grab a seat. However, if you are already a part of the Babe Gang, then you know what we do over here, okay? All right. Thank you so much for engaging with me and sharing, liking, subscribing, hitting that bell so you don't miss when I upload videos. It means a lot to me and it helps me to remain consistent, and it lets me know that you guys are liking the content that I put out. The trials and tribulations that I have experienced, or the hardships that I have experienced, and it doesn't matter if people feel like I brought them on myself. It doesn't matter if people feel like, oh well, if you would have did this wouldn't. I don't care about none of that. The things that I have experienced have truly brought me to a different version of myself, and I thank God for that portal, taking me from one space to another, right? Don't overthink it. And I want to talk about facing your fears and doing what scares you. I'm not going to give you no cutesy stuff because it's not cute when you're scared. It's not glamorous when you're scared. I'm going to genuinely just speak from the heart on this topic and pray that for whoever this is for, it resonates with you in the way that it needs to encourage you to do the hard things. So I have experienced some different things that have been tricky, that have been hard, that I did not have the blueprint to overcome in the moment that it was unfolding, right? And that leads me to my first thing. You will encounter many defeats, right? That's what Auntie Maya Angelou said. But you cannot be defeated. And for the geeky people out there, they're gonna say, well, oh, we're gonna be defeated and then not be defeated. Because the thing is, you might beat me today, you might win the fight, but you don't win the war with me, because I'm gonna keep showing up, right? And so I might encounter a defeat, but I will not be defeated, right? That's the main thing you got to know about doing the things that are scary. Some of us want to really jump out there on faith and really lock in, but we're scared of what people might think. That's our biggest fear. Like, what if people look at me like I'm a goofy, right? Or you're like, but I'm scared. You know, what if I leave them and then I don't have no money and people laugh at me? Ah! What if? What if the worst happens? Then what happens? You get up with all your scrapes, with all your bumps, with all your bruises, and you get back out there. What did Aaliyah say? What did the late and great Aaliyah say? If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. That's it. Because there's nothing lower than the bottom. I really don't want to get preachy, but it's nothing lower than the bottom. So what happens if you hit the bottom? You just get up. I was saying this on another video, but you are always going up the hill or coming down the hill. That's just how life works. We are always going and coming. You should never be standing still. So we are always going or coming. We're always approaching something or leaving from something. Approaching somewhere or leaving from somewhere, right? And so a lot of us look at the downward spiral or the decline, so to speak, our personal declines as scary. What happens if I must leave this place and then this happens? What happens if I must discontinue this and then this happens? What happens if this happens? We are not fully living because we're locked in the fear of the what if, or we're locked into the known result of us doing what we know is best for ourselves. And so with the concept of knowing that you are always approaching something or leaving something, for each L you take, for each rock bottom you hit, there ain't no other place you could go but up. Do you feel me? I'm really wanting you to feel me, because I don't want anybody locked into some space that doesn't serve them, or doesn't serve them as much as they should be served, because they are afraid of facing their fear of failing. Because ultimately that is the fear, that you'll fail, or that things won't work out, or that you won't get your needs met, or that you won't be okay. And I'm here to tell you that all of that is a lie. I'm here to tell you that all of it's a lie. You're lying to yourself, because it's not the truth. Other people are lying to you, but it's not the truth. So let's break this down in steps, right? Hey, I want this and this and this, but I'm scared to really jump out there and do the things that I need to do in order to get this, this, and this. So I won't have those things because I won't try, because I'm scared. How do I do these things? Or how do I develop the ability to get these things done so that I can accomplish my ultimate goal? Well, number one, you got to remember your why. Remember your why. Why do you want the things? And this is really a diagnostic, because if you want the things because you just want the things and they don't really add to the overall well-being of who you are, of what you are desiring, of the big picture, go back to the lab. Because you just want something to want something. You just want something to say, hey guys, look at me. Go back to the lab and stay scared. Because you don't even have enough to support why you even want the stuff. You just want it. Oh, I want a Chanel bag because she got one. But what is it? You know what I mean? Like, be for real. Develop the why. My why do I want it? I want it because it will help me show up as my best self. It will help me feel more valid in my existence. It will help me to know that I'm working towards something and that my needs will be met and that I can establish security for myself. That is my why. It is important for me because being able to do those things lets me know that I am actively contributing to myself in the way that I want to. That is my why. Okay? So sticking to my why to get those three things, for example, won't be so hard, because now I can say, you said you wanted to be a baddie. You said it meant a lot to you to do this. It means a lot to you to do this because you'll be the first person in your family to be able to break some generational curses. You'll be the first person in your family to clear 6 figures. You'll be the first person in your family to be able to care for others in your family. You'll be the curse breaker. This means a lot to you. This is your why. So are you really gonna sit right there and eat them Doritos when you know that it is against what you're trying to do? Stick to your why. You feel me? Doing things that are scary are still necessary, right? It doesn't get less scary when you know your why, but you get more fearless, right? The big thing will still be the big thing, but you get more pumped up, you get more prepared, you get more grounded in your responsibility to uphold that promise to yourself as it pertains to your why, because you have something that you are returning to. This is not just fluff. Now, if you were to say conversely, hey, I want these things because I'm gonna look good on Instagram and I'm gonna be able to, you know, flex my money and treat people bad, you're not gonna feel as motivated day to day to establish those things for yourself, because it's not coming from a deeply rooted place. Some people are successful just because they hate other people so much that hate feeds That hate feeds them. Now, though I don't condone you utilizing hatred to fuel yourself, you better use your why. Because the energy needs to be big to match the big picture. And then from there, you're going to want to ask yourself a question. Do you want to be unafraid? Some people are comfortable with staying where they are. They're comfortable with claiming what debilitates them. Well, I'm too scared, that's why I don't do it. I don't know, that's why I don't do it. I need more information. That's why. When they have access to information, when they have the ability to work on their fears, when they can find out. Do you want to be unafraid? Do you want to be in the driver's seat? You got to decide that too. That's how you do the scary stuff. You face yourself. You say, am I really scared or am I just lazy? Have I done hard things before and did I still come out the fire okay? Maybe I am maybe I am that girl, right? Or maybe I don't need to be as scared. Or maybe this is scary, but I'm still willing to show up. You feel me? You got to ask yourself, like, do I want to be unafraid or do I want to be scared? Do I want to get past this or do I want to stay here? And if the answer is yes, I want to progress. I want to get bigger. I want to get better, right? Then you take that opportunity and you say, well, why do I want to get better? From there, you're able to unlock personal awareness. I want to be unafraid because I'm tired of feeling like I'm not good enough every time I see somebody with the stuff that I want. I want to get unafraid because I'm tired of being in the same place I was last year just because I'm scared to try. I want to be unafraid because I'm tired of being abused by this person, you know, emotionally or mentally or however else. And I don't believe the things that they tell me about myself, and I know that I'm worthy, right? And I know being unafraid would unlock a bigger life for me. And that's my next question. What would being unafraid unlock for you? What could you do if you weren't scared? What could you do if you were not scared? Could you take over the world, mama? Like, could you really be that girl? Could you really, you know, change the lives of others? Could you really not only change your life, but the lives of others? Could you enhance your children's lives? Could you enhance your family members' lives? Could you enhance your community's lives? What could you do if you weren't afraid? Because I'm not telling you to be unafraid. I'm telling you to do it while you're scared. Because each day you show up in the face of what scares you, it gets a little bit easier. Let me tell you something. When I had an eviction notice on my door and I didn't know how I was going to pay my rent and I didn't know if I was going to get approved for another unit because the eviction process had already been started, was I scared? Yes, I was scared, because how are you 30-something and you don't have an apartment? How are you 30-something and you have a child that you got to take care of? Are you going to go back to your mother's house? Ooh, that's ugly. Oh my God, this and that. And how could this happen to you? Like, what should you have? Oh my God, I should have did this. I would have did this and this. What? The shoulda, woulda, coulda? The judgments that I was telling myself. Was I scared? Yes, I was. Trying to grapple for control by self-blame. Trying to grapple for control by what I shoulda did. Trying to come up with a plan retrospectively, and none of that stuff worked. What I had to do was figure it out while I was afraid. I'm scared that this won't end up the way that I need it to end up, but I'm gonna just go to eviction court and figure out what my options are. Hey, are these my options? This is the truth. This is me. How do I overcome this? What are my options? These are my options. That they gave me options. I did what I had to do with those options, and from there I did what I could do. I started looking for another apartment. Did I know if I would be approved or not? No, because my credit was not good at that time due to everything that had taken place prior to that, which had landed me in a situation where I wasn't able to pay my rent. Okay, and I was afraid, and this was the end of the world as I knew it to be, and it still needed to be handled. So I handled it. You feel me? Applied to this apartment. Hope it comes through. With limited time, might I add. And then guess what? In the nick of time, like you always do, God came through. I got an apartment. And I was able to restart and then think about how I would make good on previous non-payment at my previous unit. Was I scared? Yes. But my why was to show up, right? Why do you want to do this? I want to be able to show up. I want to be able to tell my son that I did everything possible. I want to be able to tell my son that I love myself and himself enough that I would not stay in places that were emotionally debilitating to me just for financial assistance. I will do my best. I will show up. I want him to be proud of me, and so I will do it scared. Did the self-judgment come in? Yes. You should just stay. You would have had more money. You would have been facing an eviction. Wow, that's crazy. These people should have been doing this, and these people should have been doing this, and why am I going through this, and XYZ. All of the different things came up and smacked me in my face while I was scared, making me more scared because now I'm overwhelmed and I can't focus on the matter at hand. But the bottom line is that when I realized, like, remember your why. You scared, okay? That's an emotion. These things happen. But this is still gonna be here tomorrow. And your desire to have a better life and have another big picture unlocked for you is on the other side of fear. So what you gonna do? You gonna cry or you gonna get down? And baby, me personally, I cried and I got down. I cried, then I got down, then I got down some more, then I cried some more. But at the end of the day, on the other side of that was more stability. See, we just live to fight another day, scared or not. So what you gonna do? You gonna cry? You gonna stay stuck? You gonna not cry, act like it's all good, and then hate on everybody else because they trying, or laugh at everybody else while they trying and you ain't tried? What you gonna do? You do the scary things by doing them. That's it. The life you want is on the other side of that fear. It's on the other side of that procrastination. It's on the other side of self-judgment. You understand? I don't care how many times you laugh and kiki at what the other person doing. Deep down inside, you ain't even tried. So who are you to laugh at anybody? You still in the same bad situations. You still doing the same crappy things. You still on the same little hamster wheel, but you laughing at people because they trying. Because you scared. But you're masking your fear with laughing and acting like you don't care. Or gossip. Or pointing the finger. It's okay to be afraid. And in order to really battle that fear, you have to become comfortable with the initial shame that you will feel for not being where you want to be at. Because it's human to feel ashamed. It's human to say, I feel like I should have done more and this shouldn't have happened and I should have been able to avoid this and this is embarrassing. All of these things are human. But while you are being a human, in order to become an extraordinary human, baby, you gotta get comfortable with the impending shame. The shame that's gonna say, smack, go home, you don't belong here. You gotta be like, oh, and I do belong here and I'm showing up. If it was easy, everybody would be doing this, think about it. Everyone. It's not easy to wake up scared. You don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know, what's secure, what's not secure. That's not easy. But most people don't meet the pinnacle of their personal success until they are willing to be naked and afraid. And when I say naked and afraid, I'm not talking about clothes. I'm talking about vulnerable. I'm talking about open. I'm talking about in the blind and you cannot see. You just know that there's something. You cannot see it, but you know that it's on the other side. I remember talking to my therapist about this one day. Like, it just seemed like it just get worse and worse and worse. I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. I don't know. I should just stay where I was if this was the case. I don't understand why I'm trying to do something good for myself. And when I'm trying to do something good for myself, it's just hit after hit after hit. And she told me, she said, you got to think of yourself like you are in a tunnel. You in this tunnel when you traveling and you traveling and you traveling. And she said, and you got to look at it like, the potholes, not a pothole, but the sewer caps in the street. Like they're like metal and they're like a hole and down it's like a sewer and like a tunnel. You got to look at that like it's cracked. Always know that there's a glimmer of light. But you gotta make it through that tunnel in order to get there. If you never go down the tunnel, you don't make any progress. You will still be in perpetual darkness because it's dark down there. So you have no choice but to move. You're gonna stay here and complain about the darkness, or you're gonna complain about the darkness while you're moving. That's how you get to the light. That's how you get to the light. It doesn't matter what the people are saying. It doesn't matter about even the self-judgment. Because it's going to happen. What matters is that you show up each day and you fight that good fight for yourself. You show up each day and afraid, naked, vulnerable, unable to see the end, all the rest of that other stuff, and understand that you have a why in place and that you will do anything to protect that why. You will do anything to reach that why. You will do anything to ensure that you are meeting your personal pinnacle of success. It's not nobody else's success, is your personal pinnacle. This ain't no standard. This life we live in ain't no standardized test. Everybody not taking the same test. Everybody not getting the same grades. Ain't nobody getting the same experiences. The questions change. The multiple choice ain't always multiple choice. Sometimes it's an A or B. Some of us are experiencing things on a different level. But I'm encouraging you that no matter how scary it gets, you are bigger than your fears. So let's recap. How do you do things that scare you? Number one, become comfortable with fear. It's okay if you're scared. We all are. We all are scared of something. It's okay if you're scared. Number two, remember your why. It is easier to win a war when you remember what you're fighting for. Why are we fighting? We're fighting because XYZ. You get what I'm saying? It's easier for you to go out there with vigor and tenacity and unwavering, willingness to fight when you know what you're fighting for, what is your purpose, and why is it important that you see this through. So stay close to that too, right? Three, self-assess. Do you actually want this? Are you willing to do what it takes? Because that is really what's going to separate a lot of things for you. That's going to really establish a lot of things for you. You'll know right then and there if you're psyching yourself out by making these plans and just wanting these things and then applying fake disappointment on yourself because you don't have it, or if you really are just saying you want it, just knowing that you ain't gonna do the work, right? Do you really want it? Are you willing to do it? Be for real, right? And then also asking yourself, what will it unlock for you? Really being able to visualize that new life, or visualize what the outcome of really tapping in to what scares you will get you in return. Is these things. That's how you do things that scare you. You do things that scare you by being okay with the changes. Cause it ain't gonna be easy. It's not gonna be pretty. You gonna be pretty. The environment, the journey ain't gonna be pretty. You gonna be pretty, and you don't gotta look like what you going through. But the thing is that you will go through it. Understand that operative word is through. You don't go in it and stay. You go through it. And remember that everything that you want, you are worthy of. Remember that every single thing that you are emotionally, mentally, and physically committed to is yours, and it's your responsibility to see it through, and you do deserve the right to be able to do so. If you are being hindered in any way, it is your job to assess and figure out what that hindrance is. Is it you? Is it your emotions? Or is it voices of other people? Or is it just fear that you have not fully worked through? And while you are working through the fear, you don't have to wait to be unafraid to try. You try while you are afraid. You understand? Listen, don't play with yourself. If you play with yourself, everybody else will play with you. You are the person who sets the precedent for high standard experiences. If you want the best, you better fight to give it to yourself. If you want people to give you more, you better show them that you don't accept anything less than that, because you give that to yourself. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Please leave encouraging comments for everybody down below. See you later. Bye.